Hello, and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, like and subscribe. If you're following me, thank you. So this is infusion number 2. I just got back from the appointment. I feel a lot better. They picked a different spot this time. It was inside of my arm instead of my hand. And I've been staying very hydrated. I made this. This is some good juice, which I will be sharing this weekend at my vending session out in Yorktown in Lombard if you're interested. What that is, let me show it slower. It is, I'm so sorry, I'm shooting by holding the camera. Sorry, one day I will actually bring out my tripod and make use of it. One day. So in here is watermelon, and there's this Korean tea that is like a jam almost, but you can also use it as jam. That's why I also love buying that stuff. It's citron, but Costco sells the version that has honey, citron, and ginger is what the jar now says. It used to just be citron, but you know, Americans, we like extra shit. So I always buy that citron tea, and I usually used to drink it by itself, but because I'm getting the infusions, I needed electrolytes because it was technically hot, with this exception of this random rainy day we're having right now. And so to get my electrolytes back, I figured, let me drink some watermelon. Plus I had some in the house and I cut some, and we were trying to get rid of it because we don't eat fast enough fruits and vegetables. So I thought, well, you know what? Why not just blend the watermelon with the citron, which I did, and then just added water to it, which is and it's not too much water. It's just like, I think the watermelon and citron came to about this level, and then I filled it with water to this level. So like to about here is where it blended to. And then I filled it with water to this amount. And I've just been sipping it slowly since before my appointment. And I'm going to continue to sip it slowly. I'm not trying to pee like a horse. The infusions come with a saline drip. So this time they use way less saline than they did the first time. I think it's just to get your body used to it. Or maybe it's just different nurses, different procedures, and different ways of doing shit. Not sure which one. We'll find out by the third one. Or maybe by like the 5th one. We'll know for sure. But yeah, I feel way better than I did the very first time. My body's taking that iron so much better than I anticipated. It's like night and day for me. My normal low is almost like right after an infusion. Like that's like, and it's still better with the infusion than like my normal low. So an infusion makes you tired, and it's draining you to push something into your body that way. It does drain you to push saline down your body for some reason. There's probably a scientific reason to that. I am not a scientist. We will not get that explanation today. Okay. Somebody did comment from my first video about finding out why my iron is low. I do know why my iron is low. My iron has been low since childhood. I was born with it, always being low. It is a natural nature for me. I had vertigo as a childhood and low iron. And now as an adult, I know I also have polycystic ovary syndrome. One of my side effects is I have irregular periods and I bleed extremely heavy. They can control that, but by controlling that, you mess with the already messed with hormone and do more shit to me and imbalance my body even more. So no, we're not doing that. So instead, I was eating to the iron. And some people are like, oh, you just need to take the right stuff. No, motherfuckers. I had tried shit. Everything from taking, I used to do, there's a, what is that thing called? It's this liquid that Walgreens used to sell in Walgreens before, but then you had to get it online. And it's like, I want to call it glucose, but that's not the right name. It starts with a G. But it's like Geritol. I took Geritol for years. My mom used to give me Geritol when I was a little kid. We used to do a lot of like drinking stuff like that when I was a kid. And then my nanny, when I had a nanny, when my mom wasn't with me, she used to make liver. She would boil me fresh liver. She knew I didn't like that shit, so she would cook it her way. And her way was with chunks of peanuts and pepper. So like suya pepper. Suya is a seasoning and a kind of meat when it's seasoned and marinated and grilled in West Africa. In Nigeria, it's usually done by our northerners, but the southern society eats it too. It's part of social life and nightlife. And if you're a kid, you just like suya, so you want it all the time. Anyway, I was one of those kids. So my nanny would make the liver with suya seasoning and then cut up huge chunks of bell peppers and stuff and then mix it with rice or pasta. And that's how she got me to eat liver. Because yeah, my iron was that bad, and even she knew it, and she did a lot to try and help me even with it too. So as an adult, I got more aware of it. I would drink and eat things. I would even buy things, grocery shop, based on your iron level. I would choose my snacks based on your iron level on your labels. I would do so much. I researched all the things that have iron in it, all the things that make my iron come better. Then there was the, in the US, I encountered doctors because I started going to a health system that worked with the University of Chicago. And University of Chicago had discovered years ago that people from West Africa don't retain iron because their vitamin D, if their vitamin D is deficient, then their iron will be deficient also. And so, yeah, I live in the Midwest. Do you not see that it is cloudy today, even though this shit was supposed to be sunny? So if it's not cloudy from rain, it's cloudy from snow. If it's not cloudy from snow or rain, it's cloudy from fires from Canada. If it's not that either, it's cloudy from some other reason. Anyway, we don't get enough sunlight, and there are not enough days that you're gonna want to be out in the world out here. And so vitamin D is something that even if you are really an outdoorsy person, you might need to take some little liquid shit or some pills just to keep it going. So with that said, I was doing liquid iron, vitamin D. Now the new research is vitamin C to bond it. I think I eat enough orange and do enough citrusy things. I try and stay away from lemon because I can't have lemon in my stomach. Long story, my mother learned from some old man in India when she was pregnant with me that it would inflame her arthritis. And so she raised me with the understanding that me and lemon should not be good friends. Though when I was a kid, I would have tea with lemon in it because that shit was good. But as I got older, I weaned myself off of lemon, and I do not do any of those crazy healthy things where they say, oh, drink lemon and water, do lemon and this. Don't do none of that because I do bloat. So I don't eat lemon. I don't eat melons. I don't eat... I also bloat and had issues with gastritis in the past, so I was on a FODMAP diet for a period of time. So I kind of live off of that FODMAP diet loosely, because girl gotta eat beans every now and then, and girl do love some Indian lentils every now and then, and girl do love apple pie because my mother used to bake it in this pie, in this porcelain pie thing that had the recipe on the inside, and she would make the whole ingredients first and then put it in the pie with the recipe in it and then finish it up. And then she would have pecan ice cream on the side of fresh, hot, piping, homemade apple pie. Yeah, that was my childhood. No, I was not fat. I was skinny as fuck, so get off of it. But we lived with a high sugar diet. Always have, still do, worked on it like crazy. Don't come for me for it. I is a human being. I can do a lot of things, but me and my ice cream and my occasional apple pie eatings and my high sugar are friends. I just clean it out my blood system with some tea. Later on, I'll talk more about that tea and give an understanding of the tea. But I brew a tea that cleans out all that stuff and balances it out. So even though I have polycystic ovary syndrome, which one of the side effects of are diabetes, which runs in both my mother and my father's side of the family. So as a child, my childhood doctor made good education of how not to get diabetes. bring down your sugar level, because it runs in your household. And he would say it all the time, and I would hear it, and I would get it in my brain. And so the tea is how I balance that shit. And there are a bunch of teas to help with that too, just by the way. Yeah, it's storming out here, and I'm not going inside because I'm in the shade and the rain ain't hitting me yet. So I'm really out here trying to get whatever little bit of light I could get. Plus, it's kind of nice to watch rain. I've always loved, my idea of a good rain watch is sitting behind glass in a rocking chair with a blanket. And I could be doing that, but I feel like I will fall asleep. Yes, I should be sleeping after my iron infusion sessions. I should. But my ADHD self will not. So I'm really sitting out here to wear myself out so that when I finally go inside, I will get in that bed. And I won't watch Sherlock Holmes, young Sherlock Holmes, like I really want to. It's on Prime and that shit's good. I may take some time and put it in the links in the bottom. Hey, by the way, maybe we should do this where I just give you a whole list of shit to watch, because I do that with my friends all the time. And I'm a pretty decent watch person, or a watch friend. You know, the friend who you ask what to watch next when you watch everything you think you can watch. And they be finding things that are different, off the beat, and that, you know, it's good to not always watch just what you watch. I mean, I love my good rom-coms too. And I love my sci-fi, and I am a Marvel head. Yep, and I read the real comics when I was a kid too. Sneak out of high school to go to the comic store, so don't come for me. But yeah, so yeah, I definitely will tell people this iron infusion is the way to go. But yeah, years of eating to the iron and doing things to get it there, and I would get it there, and what would happen is my iron would actually balance out and be where it should, and then I would have a cycle, and then bitch wouldn't have any iron. And yeah, I feel it's easier to balance my iron by taking infusion than to take pills for my cycle. I did get on the patch one time, and I had done birth control in other ways, but the patch did weird shit to me. And back then, it was before they sued them. And I would tell the doctor, like, yo, this stuff is doing weird stuff to me. He's like, oh no, those aren't like the things that it does. Nobody says that those are issues it's having. But I knew my body. I'm so sensitive. I know when the infusion is going in. I know when I'm in saline only. I can feel all of those things. So I got off the patch. I didn't listen to the crazy man. And I'm glad I did, because months later, they sued their fucking asses. And I was like, yo, chick, always listen to yourself. Because you know you best. Unless you don't. And then you need somebody to help you figure out what you is. And then know you then. I don't even know. I believe, I subscribe to Jesus, so Jesus is who I help me know who is who, not other people, because I don't trust people. I'm sorry. I'm one of those weirdos that doesn't really trust people, and I'm learning, because you have to trust people to let them help you. You have to trust people to let them be a part of your life. But let's not trust blindly, and let's not be foolishly trusting either. I think sometimes some people lean too much into things and people. People have the right to fail you. People have the right to disappoint you. People have the right to not be perfect all the time. And you have the right to accept that shit. But some of us don't want to. Either way, it is what it is. But yeah, so day 2 in the glove. And yes, they were days apart. So my last one was on a Friday, and this one was on a Monday. So I had the whole weekend to experience it. I was tired a lot during the weekend. I did push it. It's summer in Chicago, okay? Summer in Chicago means even if you ain't doing shit, you still finding things to do, because it's all free and there's a lot of fun. So we were at, what did I do this weekend? This weekend, Friday, I kind of kept it low. We stayed in because after I got the shot and everything, got what I needed to do, did the video, went to that appointment, came home, and then just like laid in bed. And the children fed me, which is nice. I have a 24-year-old and 9-year-old. And then Saturday, we had Greenwood Fest because I go to New Life. And so I took my daughter out to that. I didn't get to go to Gospel Fest, and I kind of realized that with that infusion, I shouldn't be double teaming, because I would come from the south side, go all the way downtown, and then like come home all the way in the suburbs. And I was like, yo, chick, you ain't trying to die. Let's not do this. So even after even that, I went from 12 to 3. And by like 3, I was like, yo, chick, I looked at my daughter, I said, I'm done here. But then we had to pick up my son at 6 up on the northwest side. He was playing ping pong. And so then I was like, you know what? We got to kill time. So then we ended up at the library, one that we used to go to when we lived out in the city. And we just chilled there, and she had a good time at the library. And she's one of those that goes to the library not to read, but to play with all the other things the library offers. Thank you to libraries for having assets. I love that part about them. And hopefully one day she'll get comfortable enough to let me start reading with her, or to her, or her reading to me. We keep working on it. We get there. She's 9-year-old with reading challenges, and someday we'll talk about that too. I kind of have to wait to get a little past some of the awkward moments we're having with that first before I can start talking about that. And then Sunday we went to church, and she likes to do 2 services. So we're at church from like 9:30 to the 12:30 service, and we do both services. And then afterwards, we didn't have to pick up my son till 6 again. So we went to the Obama, what is it called? The Obama Presidential Library. And so we went there and we played in the playground. Apparently his tickets are sold out till next year. Yo, mofos, how do you buy all the tickets in a whole year? Like, come on. Whatever, I get it. He was cool to you all. It was cool to us too. But so unless someone told me if you got membership, then when they freed up on a ticket, then you could get in that way. And I was like, that's a lot of work. But at the site is a Chicago Public Library that is part of his museum and all the stuff. That part is free. The playground had security, which I thought was interesting, but it's a really nice playground. Kids loved it. It was hot as hell yesterday. But my daughter enjoyed the playground even in that heat. That's how nice a playground it was. They have picnic benches, a lot of them, crazy enough, with a bathroom right next to it. It's outdoors, next to, because it's the original. So it has the original park, the original Hyde Park that was there from the World's Fair, the second World's Fair. So the Obama's place, that original park was created during the World's Fair. It was created to be an oasis that took water from the lake into that area that was built specifically for it. The Museum of Science and Industry was built at that time, and it was meant to be a permanent building and a permanent structure that would remain after the World's Fair. Most of the structures were built out of wood and other things, and they were meant to go away after the fair, but the Science and Industry was supposed to stay. And then they kept a lot of the water, because it was like canals, and they had these gondolas that would take you from exhibits and areas of the park to other parts of the World's Fair at the time. And so they left some of those waterways and some of those gardens till today. Some of it is deviated a little from the original. A lot of what is the road on 63rd in Chicago is what used to be the gondola waterway. So that became a road. And then the gardens and that lake area is still as it used to be, but you don't see the sign of where the water went from the lake into into that waterway, into the park, and into all of that. That's all disappeared. But the main parks themselves, the Science and Industry Museum, and some of the bathrooms and some of those areas were built then. Some of them have been refreshed over the years, and the footprint of that is what Obama's thing has now added to. The footprints of what was left. So the golden statue on 63rd Street, that was 63rd going towards the lake right before the 63rd beach. That was part of the World's Fair. That was the main centerpiece of that thing. So that's why that's still there, and that's why we work to maintain it as Chicago. But yeah, sorry, I know my clothes have changed because that day while I was filming that, my cousin called, and 2 minutes later, sirens go off for a tornado, and I'm sitting outside. And so I had to run in and tell everybody to run to the basement because not just did it get sirens for the tornado, they were saying head to shelter. So in Illinois, when they say sirens for a tornado, it just means high winds. But when they say head to shelter, that means someone's either seen the tornado or the level of winds they're seeing on the numbers are enough to guarantee that a tornado is occurring. So lots of broken trees all over the place, but a lot of roofs are still intact and no one's house was fully torn up that I saw or that I've seen. But most of what you see as the damage is really just trees, which is still a tornado. Because a tornado indicates that the trees are broken in a certain way and a certain number of trees, and the level of damage, I'm sure it's a number. It's probably like a 1 or 2 or something like that, or somewhere from a 3 down, but not more than a 3. But I don't even think that's a 3 because a 3 would have taken roofs. So maybe like a 2 or a 1. I don't know. I didn't look at it how much the tree damage was, but there was a lot of tree damage. But yeah, high winds, real fun. So this is where we end the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you like and subscribe and get to hang out with me in the future and see more things that I'm doing. Thanks again. Bye.